It's Reese, Reese, and Dan, Dan, the man. It's the little things. Hey guys, welcome to the little things. This is episode 8, part 1, single days. We are talking to all our single ladies and all our single guys out there. I want to encourage you guys that marriage is coming. If that's what you want, it's coming, and don't rush it. Many times it's right in front of your face. And so in this first episode, and in part 1 of this episode, we are literally giving you a glimpse of our separate understandings of what the other person was like when we met each other in our single days. So I'm going to tell you a little bit, I'm going to kick them out and tell you a little bit about how I was when I was single and how I perceived Daniel, the single guy. And Daniel's going to do the same with me. And so you guys will get to hear a little bit of our history, and because sometimes you're single and you don't realize how other people are perceiving you. So I get to hear, because I don't think I've ever asked that question to Daniel of what he thought of me when I was actually single before we even dated, before we even looked at each other romantically. I met my husband in 2007. At Hampton University. I almost did not go to Hampton University. I went to SUNY Old Westbury for the first 2 years of my college career, and then I transferred to Hampton University, and in no way when I got to Hampton did I think I was going to meet my husband. By the time I transferred to Hampton University, I was single and loving it. I mean, wait, let me think about it. Was I loving it? I was loving it. I mean, I felt like it was a very adventurous time for me, I'll say, because I was on my own for the first time, away from home. So my mind wasn't really focused on relationships. I probably didn't start thinking about like actual relationships in college until my senior year. When I was single, I was really enjoying my single time. I was cool, cute. I was making friends. I was dating my girlfriends, okay? I wasn't even like really looking to date or anything like that. I mean, I was only 21, 22 when I went to Hampton, so I was still very young, you know? Right before I met Daniel, I had no idea that I was entering into marriage territory. Let me just tell you that. I was killing it, feeling myself. I was focused on my work. I was ready to graduate, thinking about my career. I met Daniel. He was the president of the Student Christian Association at the university. I knew him, but I didn't know him. I tell a lot of my single friends that your husband is probably right in front of your face and you don't know it. God really had to open up my eyes to Daniel. We became friends first, and you know, I was just like, he's just a friend. You know, he was feeling me and everything, but I had to keep him to the side. What? He's getting tight. And eventually, yes, I did start to have feelings for him. So when we started dating, I had no idea that marriage was right around the corner. So I was single, I was content. I had Daniel as a boyfriend. I didn't even know that he was gonna be my husband, but things moved so quickly. He was my boyfriend for a year, then he proposed to me a year later, then we got married a year later, then we bought a house. Like, you know what I mean? So things really progressed quickly. So what I would say to all my single ladies, I don't know, just keep doing you, because I was doing me, and then here come Daniel all up out of nowhere. I really enjoyed my single time, especially with God, and I know it sounds so corny, but I really enjoyed my single time with God, because it was a time for me and God to grow. It was a time for me to learn more about myself and who I was, what I liked and what I didn't like, because when you're young, you don't really know what you want, and as you get older, you start to learn yourself more, and marriage is going to take you down a whole different path. So pace yourself, don't rush, and don't give up on marriage, because if that's what you want, most likely your husband is right there. You just have to ask God to open your eyes up.
So I met my wife at Hampton University, the real HU. She was very fortunate to find me there as well. No, I actually came in, I'm a true Hamptonian. I came in my freshman year, was from the greatest city in the world, Chicago, Illinois. I don't know if a lot of people don't know that about me. I have a certain level of swagger, a certain level of confidence. You can't tell me too much. I brought that to Hampton. Swag comes in different ways, shapes and forms and sizes, but swag is evident. So you know when somebody has swag because they're confident, they don't care what you think about them, they're gonna do what they wanna do. So, I was the type, I'm walking around campus, I got my big headphones on, noise canceling, Sony, name brands, because that's how I used to roll. And you just couldn't really tell me nothing. I did my thing, as an engineering major, you have a certain amount of time, between your studies and everything. But I found time, to be in the Student Christian Association. Met a lot of my, really close friends, people that I'm still, really, really close with to this day. Shout out to Scotty Carter, Leon Hendricks, Mike Rayfield, the whole gang, Janae Carter. Really developed some really strong friendships, and that was like a big nucleus of my social circle. So in that circle, Sirece ended up joining that circle. On the outskirts. She was more like a moon than really like being a big part of the planet. And we ended up, becoming friends, kind of becoming associates at first, because to her point, she really didn't know much about me. She thought I was sus. My hair wasn't always together. And she that was a big stickler for her. But from the guy standpoint, she was that type where I felt like she was kind of outside of my league. I didn't know if I would ever be able to talk to her on that level. So once I got that opportunity, it was a wrap. When a guy really likes a girl, you give all your attention to that person, play all your cards, you do everything it takes to get her attention. And that's really what I did. Like, I figured out, that we had a lot in common. Of course she was gorgeous. She had a lot of, gifts and talents and stuff that were appealing. So when I finally got that chance, things just really clicked really fast. Probably faster than any relationship I've been in before. We were at that place in life where we knew like, this is what I want, and we both really made that commitment really quickly, but not like in a rushed format, just in one of those like I really know this is what I want, and here we are, I guess.
Ultimately, I was so cool.
She was and is a lame.
I was the most popular girl there.
She had like 2.5 friends. And she still has 2.5 friends. Nobody knew her. She didn't even really want to know anybody.
So when Daniel first saw me, I was actually in a musical singing on stage, and he was mesmerized and tried to ask his friend if I had a man. Whack.
Leon, I didn't ask her did she have a man. I just asked who she was. You gave me an answer and I kept it moving as the player that I am.
He would come around trying to do things to get my attention, all singing loud and dancing around. But I was just like, keep it to myself. Don't know who you are. Looking the other way.
She stayed looking at me. It got to a point where it was a little creepy. I was like, ugh.
Eventually, I was very intrigued by him, and the way that I would show that I was interested in a guy was like in kindergarten when you would pick on them. So I made fun of him, people laughed, and I was still the most popular girl in his organization. Boom!
I mean, she might have, whatever. My swag was consistent. Nobody could tell me anything. I knew I was that dude on campus, even if everybody on campus didn't know I was that dude.
Daniel was an LOSER loser. I'll never get looking at him. I'm like, who's this loser? Ain't nobody knew who he was.
I used to always keep my hair on point. Always had that fresh fade. You could never catch me without everything being together.
His hair was covering his face at all times. When we first got together, we actually got into arguments about him getting his hair cut. So when I first met him, his hair looked like this. His lining was like all like this. It was crazy. So no, I didn't know him. So when he finally got his hair cut, I was like, who's that?
Wasn't nobody looking for no girl. I was trying to get this engineering degree, get this money, get this house, get this dog. Those was my goals. And what I do, I hit every single goal.
Daniel texts me every single morning faithfully. Monday, good morning. Tuesday, good morning, beautiful. Wednesday, good morning, sweet one. Like, bye. I was just like, good morning all week. Don't text me again. He had Sirece on the brain.
So she was definitely fronting because she always asked me to come over, can I use your computer? Like it ain't 100 computers in the library, or that she didn't have like an actual computer, or that she couldn't go get a charger for the computer that she had. Like I'm Best Buy. What I look like? Lawrence?
So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing our different perspectives. This was just part 1, but make sure you check out part 2 to really hear some of the more honest perspectives that we had of what attracted each other to our husband and future wife in our single days. Thanks so much guys for tuning into The Little Things, episode 8, part 1, but do not forget to tune in next week to part 2. It's the little things, it's the little things. I just wanted to see your mouth do that. It's Percia Production.